Chapter 10. Back at home, Lizzie kept a close eye on Pugsley. After school on Monday and Tuesday, he stayed in her room while she worked on her poster. "Want it!" her poster said on the top. You know, you really don't see wanted posters that much these days. And the top of it was a big picture of Pugsley looking innocent and adorable. Underneath it said, "Want it! A very good home for this occasionally naughty puppy. Name, Pugsley, sometimes known as Mr. Pest." Then there were 4 other pictures of Pugsley playing at camp. Maybe the funny poster would help find the right home for Pugsley. With people who said that he was always a puppy, that puppies weren't always perfect. Lizzie was not planning to take Pugsley on Bowser's backyard Wednesday. Instead, she had the feeling that Aunt Amanda just had enough of that pesky little pug. Instead, she planned to spend the afternoon putting up posters with Maria's help. That's why she was surprised when the phone rang after dinner and Mom said it was Aunt Amanda calling for her. "Just checking to make sure you're taking Pugsley to the daycare tomorrow," her aunt said when Lizzie came to the phone. "Really? We can come?" Lizzie asked. "Really, dear," said Aunt Amanda. "I'm counting on your help here, and, well, to be honest, I miss that little Mr. Pest." "I promise he'll behave," Lizzie said. Aunt Amanda laughed. "I'm not sure if anyone can promise that, but I'll keep a close eye on him and give him lots of attention." "I will," Lizzie said. And she did. She watched Pugsley like how a hawk watches his prey all afternoon. And she noticed that Aunt Amanda was watching too. Every time Lizzie looked up, there was Aunt Amanda checking on Pugsley. Even though Bowser's backyard was very busy that day, Aunt Amanda was always watching. It made Lizzie nervous. She knew Pugsley already had more than 3 strikes against him, and if he did something really naughty, Aunt Amanda would kick him out for good. And Pugsley couldn't spend at least one afternoon a week after Bowser's backyard. Lizzie knew Mom would probably run out of patience and kick him out of the house. Pugsley would air it up at Karen Paw, stuck in a cage while he waited for someone to adopt him. If the shelter even had room, lately they would have been totally full. Where would Pugsley even go then? It would be better, so much better for Lizzie could find Pugsley a forever home. She had brought her signs to show Aunt Amanda, but her aunt would be way too busy to look at them later. After most of the dogs were picked up by their owners, it was a special day at Bowser's backyard, Bath Day. For an extra free, Aunt Amanda and her helpers would have a spa day with the dogs. Lizzie knew better to let Pugsley anywhere near the tub room. Pugsley plus water usually equaled trouble. Even so, Mr. Pest showed up a few times before the afternoon was over. The first time was right when Aunt Amanda had given her own pugs Lionel and Jack their baths. Like Lizzie was helping dry Jack off, Pugsley convinced Lionel it would be fun to run out the doggy door and roll around the muddy playground. Come on, you smell too good. Oh, don't you want to smell like a dog again? Let's go play." Then Lizzie was helping Lionel with Lionel's second death. Pugsley and Jack got home. Wrestling match underneath the bunk bed. It was a nap room where it was dusty. Shoo! I've got something to be done. Lizzie thought it was actually kind of cute that the three pugs seemed to like each other that much. And it is kind of cute. And Aunt Amanda seemed to agree. At least she didn't get too mad at Pugsley, who could not stop sneezing. Instead, she just smiled and shook her head and said, "Hey, pugs will be pugs," she said as she picked them up and threw them into the tub room for another quick rinse. After that, Lizzie brought Pugsley into the playroom where Aunt Amanda's helpers were keeping the other dogs busy with a game of Find the Biscuit. Lizzie was hoping to tuck biscuits here and there underneath the chairs or the pillows. Pugsley managed to find a whole box of biscuits. Just when Aunt Amanda came in to see how the game was going, he nudged over the box with his nose, tossing biscuits all over the floor for the dogs to snatch up. "Yay! Look at what I did! Aren't I the smartest little dog ever?" It was a long afternoon. Lizzie was exhausted by the time Aunt Amanda came to turn on the sign to the window to closed. It locked the front door of Bowser's backyard. Lizzie popped her down in the chair and yawned, holding Pugsley in her arms. Aunt Amanda came over to sit next to her. "You saw everything, didn't you?" Lizzie asked miserably. Aunt Amanda nodded. "Pugsley isn't perfect yet, sweetheart," she said. "He still has some growing up to do, but you found the key to helping him behave better. All he needs is attention, and plenty of it." She then changed the subject. "Don't you have something to show me, Lizzie?" she asked. "Some signs you made earlier today?" Lizzie opened her backpack and opened the signs. She sighed she hadn't one too. Aunt Amanda, I hope we can find Pugsley at home." Aunt Amanda looked down at the sign she was holding. "This is cute," she said. Then slowly she ripped it in half and handed the two pieces back to Lizzie. "But I don't think you can put it up." Lizzie gasped. "Why?" "Because Uncle James and I talked it over last night. We realized both of us had fallen in love with Pugsley, even if he is a pest. I don't want Jack to love him too. I was watching him all day before I made my final decision." "You mean about kicking him out?" Lizzie asked. She was a little confused. "No, about adopting him. We decided to become a free pug family." She reached out to gather Pugsley into her arms. "What do you think about that, Pugsley?" Pugsley snorted, snuffled, and sneezed, and then he licked Aunt Amanda's chin. "I think that's dog for yes, please," she said. She sat back in her chair and smiled happily as she watched her aunt cuddle with the little pug. Pugsley found a perfect home with someone who would give him all the attention he needed and deserved. He would have two pug brothers to play with and teach him manners. The best part of it was Lizzie would get to see him all the time. At Bowser's backyard and Camp Bowser. All dogs deserve a home on the holidays, and I hope you enjoyed the story because it was my little Christmas treat to you, my friends. Anyways, here's our next story. My Naughty Little Puppy, Rascal in the Wedding, coming, December 27th.